What's going on? What's going on, everybody? You're listening to DC Speakers with your host, Kayla Monae. How y'all doing out there today? It is a little dreary out there. I'm well. And Steve, how are you today?
How are you doing? Thank you for having me today. I'm well.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Well, we got a lot to talk about today. Quite a bit is going on in the district. And as you know, here at DC Speakers, we talk about news, business, everything district. So I'm glad you guys could really come and experience DC Speakers with us. I'm really honored for you guys to be here.
Thank you.
So just to tell you listeners a little bit about Psy-Key. Psy-Key is a multimedia platform that provides positive information about that for our listeners here on DC Speakers. But we're going to get into a little entertainment news for our listeners because, of course, that's what we know some of you come for. So, just to start out with the King, I don't know if we want to call him the King, Jay-Z. I mean, T.I. would probably be a little upset with that. But Jay-Z has a new project on HBO for his song Picasso Baby from his new album. So that's interesting. I've never been a super Jay-Z fan or anything like that. but I cannot deny, the history that he's making and the steps that he's taking for hip hop and for black people. So, I'm all for that. But on the 2nd, he will be having his video performance on HBO, which is also the same network that, Beyonce had her Life is But a Dream documentary or whatever. So that should be interesting. It's supposed to be like a 6-hour performance made into a film.
Wow.
And that film was going to be
Is it going to be in parts, do you know?
From my research, I don't have those
just
details.
Gonna be one? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's going to be cool. That's going to be a long.
Yeah, I don't know if I can handle
film.
that much Jay-Z in one sitting. I hope it's spread out.
Yeah, I think that they'll probably integrate some of the makings of the
Album.
Video album in addition to the actual performance or maybe after performance, just the little things like that. So I can imagine it. Really.
Or maybe it'll be like, this is it. Michael Jackson.
And they actually were talking about this on the show before us, if anyone has been continuously listening, about Mr. Belafonte and the issues with him and Jay-Z, and him just feeling like Jay-Z and Beyonce, him just having a strong opinion about their political active lives, social active lives. So, I think that's interesting, considering they're going to be featuring some of that in the HBO series as well, just their relationship and their opposing opinions.
Yeah.
So that should be something to look forward to. I'm always out watching for the controversy.
Right.
I'm ready to see it. So.
I've been reading a little bit of it. Do you know any more about that, like that situation, or...
the Belafonte situation?
What happened?
Basically, he feels that just some of the things that Jay-Z is doing, like, here's a quote. I would be hard-pressed to tell Mr. Jay-Z what to do with his time and his fortune. All I can be critical is of what he is not doing. So, that's a quote.
Okay.
From Mr. Belafonte. So,
all right,
that's interesting.
Statement.
Wait, so what does he have to do with Jay-Z?
At the same time, I'm like, he's a very large civil rights activist for us, if people who don't know who Mr. Belafonte is. But, the different things that Jay-Z and Beyonce have been doing, going overseas and, that whole scandal they had here in the USA about them going and doing that charity thing they did in Cuba. And apparently, we have strife with them. And so a lot of the choices that Jay-Z and Beyonce have been making recently have just been hitting headlines. So that's probably why he felt like he could interject his comments, being such a prestigious person. I don't know if I'm say prestigious. I say distinguished, because he is known.
He kind of sounds like a hater to me. But,
in a little bit.
Those are the kind of things you won't find on Psy-Key's website.
Right.
Yes, because they're all about positive media.
Of course.
But yeah, so shout out to that, you guys. We'll definitely be checking that out on August 2nd. That's right around the corner. So be definitely looking out for that. But in other news, moving on to something, a little more socially conscious, health conscious rather, is Cynthia Bailey from the Real Housewives of Atlanta, if you haven't seen, has been having some health issues in the media recently. And she has actually just disclosed in the last 48 hours to the Inquirer that she has urinary fibroid tumors, and they've developed so large that she has to get them surgically removed. So I know a lot of people have been chitting and chatting about, Cynthia Bailey might be pregnant. No. Set the record straight right here. She, number one, is 46. Not saying, no shade to Fergie, who's like around the same age, just had a baby. But most 46-year-old women are not about that life in terms of getting pregnant. So, basically, I hope she uses this opportunity to bring social awareness and just to bring, positivity towards women that deal with fibroid issues, because a lot of women, especially African American women between 30 and 40, are at greater risk. So, I'm hoping that she uses this opportunity to vocalize it and not try to hide it. Hide a condition like that and use herself as use her celebrity to bring awareness about that.
Yeah, I'm definitely inspired by anyone who does that, with a, ailment that they may have, like Angelina Jolie, for example. You know what I mean? Like, she coming out with her, what was it, the breast removal?
Oh,
She
oh
did.
yeah, she
Augmentation.
augmentation. I'm not
Okay.
sure. I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
I didn't know the
We
term.
can get some
but-
details on that. Though.
Right. Yeah, but that's pretty cool. Like, that's inspiring.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really inspired by her. And
My
all
mother
black
has
women.
issues with that. So.
Oh, really? With
yeah.
fibroids?
Well, I mean, she's had surgery in the past.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, has like high stress levels. I try to get her to calm things down so that she can stop going through these things. But
Yeah.
you know,
I feel you. Yeah, well, hopefully we can, come up with some cures in our future for the many issues we deal with as humans.
absolutely.
But keep it here. Keep it here. We'll be right back. Next up, we have Diamond District by Uptown. Tell me what you think. Keep it here, DC Speakers.
Motivated by the right things. So pipe dreams, more like light beams. Light bulbs, small ideas, cook. Short fuse, I'm fueled by lightning. And still I don't rely on shock factor. Lime now when you be in the dock after. I'm trying to live my life like an open book. Don't wanna get to the middle and read a dark chapter. But I'm cool, yeah, I'm chill. I mean, for real, I wrote this rhyme in a pool with a grill. Cooking meals for my crew when it feels like we win it all the time, cause I'm preparing to lose. Take a spirits every once in a while, even the king of the hill gets dumped in a pile. How you deal with the fall, how you heal is the mark of a man or a bitch with a broom. It goes, nothing is for certain, nothing is for show. Someone said they closed the curtain, we gon' have to do the show. Show up, show out, show off, show down with anybody around. It go off, it go, nothing is for certain, nothing is for show. Someone said they closed the curtain, we gon' have to do the show. Show up, show out, show off, show down with anybody around. It go off,
let them know. Ain't nothing for certain, so I'm putting work in. And we see our shadow, but not Satan lurking. Yeah, life is a test according to God. You don't believe, and I guess you already lost. Hustling, winning through fall, double the figures and thought nothing was wrong. It's in the past as soon as the morning comes. Tomorrow ain't promised, so who do you love? Past the studio, hoes, fashion, Louis Vuitton. Had a dream, an angel told me, remember, it can all be over with the snap of a finger. I say what I say, cause this movie can end the day. Mama, don't cry, I ain't like it here anyway. Retired from saying fuck the world and everything in it. In the belly of the DC beast, it ain't Guinness. Bye, nigga, no. Say hello to the bad guys with a flow. Oh, give them the motto.
It goes, nothing is for certain, nothing is for show. Someone said they closed the curtain, we gon' have to do the show. Show up, show out, show off, show down with anybody around. It go off, it go, nothing is for certain, nothing is for show. Someone said they closed the curtain, we gon' have to do the show. Show up, show out, show off, show down with anybody around. It go off,
let them know. Joe, I swear, you have no idea how many our peers be playing musical chairs. We took the stairs cause the elevator crowded. Let them be the loudest cause killers moving silent. You gotta have style, it ain't no other way around it. More about you, way less about who you're down with. Try to tell a friend that, never got a hit back. Said he about to blow and still I never felt the impact. He hit a small radius, bit of core maybe it's pride they hide. My eyes wide on the daily, I'm really surprised. Why? Cause of the things that I experience. Drama be like commas and we be like period. Ended with you begin. On some case closed, paved the road and laying low, navigating through poems. We enter homes through the speaker like a warp zone. Holding the scroll, script bold and gold. Go by the code like a brother was told years ago. Gold stuck in the skull. Powers to be, try to number my soul, but no progress is why I don't rest. Used to be the most fresh, now I care less. We gotta reinvent.
Nothing is for certain, nothing is for show. Someone said they closed the curtain, we gon' have to do the show. Show up, show out, show off, show down with anybody around. It go off, it go. Nothing is for certain, nothing is for show. Someone said they closed the curtain, we gon' have to do the show. Show up, show out, show off, show down with anybody around. It go off, let them know.
Welcome back to the DC Speakers. How are y'all doing? So we're here with Steve and Caleb of Psy-Key. we're in great conversation about, you know, Jay-Z, Mr. Belafonte, a very distinguished man, you know. So just to comment again on that, I guess my opinion of it, now that I've been informed a little by my producer on some certain things, is that I feel like at the end of the day, like, yes, people who created change in our past are, you know, important for our future. But at the same time, they have to learn to evolve as the future comes and not stay in the past. So that's my only comment about that. Any comments, guys?
No, that was actually a great little quote that you said. I might have to frame that one.
Oh.
They have to evolve, you know what I mean?
Right.
Especially our
Well, I agree partly. I don't necessarily agree with Harry Belafonte's methods of criticizing Jay-Z, but I do believe that he has some validity in that we should, in that when you make it, you also have to give back at the same time.
Right.
You know, so it's just how the Deltas do. You know what I'm saying? Lady 42 reaches up but gives back at the same time,
right.
Not forgetting those behind you.
Right.
So instead of necessarily criticizing Jay-Z, work together and try to make
I love you much. It's not enough. I love blowing you love puff. Life is like a pipe, and I'm a tiny penny rolling up the walls inside. We only said goodbye with words. I died 100 times. You go
Bring,
back to
you know, helps the economy flourish, then it's kind of like, what
But
do
then
we
it's
say
like,
about democracy?
do I have to wait 20 years to have a baby for these events, economy booming to happen?
Right. But it doesn't even necessarily have to be a baby. It was from their engagement to their wedding to literally over like 500
These are
million
social
people.
events.
Right. And
We
so
can just throw a party and the economy is booming.
if only that's how it was over here.
Sorry to interject, but just speaking as a financial analyst, you know, given that 300 million projection, helping the economy and whatnot, dealing with with a royal economy, you know, where you have a matriarchal system,
Right.
it is a lot harder for that money to see any real effect down at the bottom. So, you know, they always talk about trickle down economics.
Right, that doesn't work.
It doesn't work. So that 300 million, while helping the economy, probably only helps a certain group.
That's true.
So in the long run.
That's true.
So, you know, don't necessarily put always too much pressure on those projections, because it can either be really inflated or really deflated.
True. Well, shout out to the royal baby regardless.
Shout out.
And,
Right. Welcome to the world.
Welcome to the world. You are
First.
famous, and you've only been here like a couple weeks, so
Right.
less than 2 weeks. But, you know, shout out to you. So in sadder news, or not sadder news, but as everyone knows, the passing of Corey Monteith. wear a hood too. So, you know, just her ignorance is pretty frustrating, as you can see. That she just felt like and then she also said she felt like the media was just, you know, manipulating the facts, but she doesn't know the facts. So in my head, I'm like, what do you know what the media is manipulating when you don't even know the basics of the case?
Yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned with that whole case, the world watched it for the most part. You know, I'm not entirely sure how the verdict came to be what it is. I mean, it seemed like common sense. You know, like somebody, like from what I understand, you know, between him disobeying dispatcher's orders, getting out of the car, following Trayvon, I mean, it just all kind of seems like he did this to himself. Well, from what the juror said that spoke out, she said that it ended up coming down to the stand your ground law. But it ended up
in the
down
last
to his
final
moments.
seconds, exactly.
But you can't do that
exactly.
in a case in which all that matters.
Right, and it also came down to manslaughter as well. I was actually going to talk about this when we were done with Miss Niece. You know, I'm really perturbed with her, but it also came down to the definition of manslaughter, and so that's why I've been really feeling like our laws need to be updated to go with our 21st century lives. But what she was saying in her video is that the actual definition of manslaughter, what they were giving them, you know, there was too much reasonable doubt not enough proof to show that there was anything premeditated on George Zimmerman's side. That, like, basically when he left his house that night, he was saying, like, I'm about to go kill
Well, that's
Trayvon
murder.
Martin.
Yeah,
Well, that's murder.
That would be murder, right?
That's murder. Manslaughter typically isn't premeditated, not in all degrees.
Well, whatever degree that they were given, what was her name? The only minority juror spoke out saying that that's what basically they had to prove in order to say yes, you know, guilty for, you know, killing Trayvon Martin. Right, because he was being charged for murder.
I think the thing that I found most interesting about that case was that when they first took the vote, they had
three guilty, one murder.
Yeah, one
second
murder,
degree
and
murder,
then two manslaughter.
Right. So from all of that to all guilty, but like the juror was saying, her name Maddie, she really admitted that she felt very wrong about the situation, and she feels very guilty. She feels like she killed Trayvon Martin, you know, and she did state that, you know, basically George Zimmerman is a murderer walking free. But at the same time, she was very convinced by all of her white counterparts. Basically, her quote exactly is, "Those white women talked me into denying my instincts and convicting Zimmerman." So she admits that she was wrong. She said she was very hysterical and her crying, and her husband was holding her and all of this stuff. And, you know, she said she felt like she betrayed Trayvon Martin's parents and the world because she didn't understand how big the case was, you know. So to me, you know, I get where she's coming from, but like I said, I think that this is not just about race. This is also about our judicial system and how our laws need to be updated and improved to fit the lifestyle that we live now and not the lifestyle that whenever they were created, which was how long ago? Like 100 years? Maybe 50?
Something like that. 60?
Older than most of our parents.
Right.
So that's just not really, you know, not really, you know, I'm still very perturbed about that, the whole Trayvon Martin. I am Trayvon Martin. I am. You know what I'm saying? But we will, you know, discuss that in detail when we come back. Keep it here. Next we have Summertime Stroll by Dulce Capone.
Yeah, we had to get up.
Summertime stroll, you know. Walk with me. Hey, look. Puffing on the funnel, breathing uptown air. The city that divide niggas past this like air. Coming through the wrong block, you gotta pay your fare. Cause if not, it's like playing a game of truth or dare. The truth being told, the story's always told by the younger who survive and the one who watched the fold. I'm trying to stack my cash till my pockets unfold. See many summers hot and see many winters cold. Niggas got popped and watched their face turn cold. I used to tell my mama the ghetto fucks with my soul. Yeah, then I asked why my heart is so cold. Like I keep that bitch on polar bear froze. But what I do know is just the side effects of the ghetto. Cause I gotta take my days more slow, like a summertime stroll. Puffing on the J's on the drove. Just relax and watch it so close. This is what I see when I summertime stroll. When I summertime stroll. Walking through the block, everybody say hello. Some things never change, but the same stays old. So when it do change, make sure that you evolve like the evolution, like fungus growing on mold. This is what I see when I summertime stroll. When I summertime stroll. Still strolling on my fucking blocks and my avenues. I love my city. I show it with the gratitude. Yes, I got the attitude. Coming from the city that I'm from, you can die for one of your shoes without the tongue. Nobody wants to see you make it. So if they give you props, they're lying or they fake it. Now everybody's Muslim nowadays on that Assalamu alaikum. And 2 minutes later, it's where my salami bacon. If I offend you, then you should always know that those niggas the one to keep it real with you. The poverty's in my streets, it's the real issue. RIP's on our T, say I still miss you. Yup, candlelight memorials, you know how the story goes. Younger had to die, only Lordy knows where homie goes. Yeah, that's the way the streets go with the flow. You gotta let God and let it go. This is what I see when I summertime stroll. When I summertime stroll. Walking through the block, everybody say hello. Some things never change, but the same stays old. So when it do change, make sure that you evolve like the evolution, like fungus growing on mold. This is what I see when I summertime stroll. When I summertime stroll. If you see me summertime strolling, just holler at me, homie. You know that we rolling. I'm strolling through my beautiful blocks and I'm puffing that loud from the night to the morning. If you see me summertime strolling, just holler at me, homie. You know that we rolling. I'm strolling through my beautiful blocks and we puffing that loud from the night to the morning. If you see me summertime strolling, just holler at me, homie. You know that we rolling. I'm strolling through my beautiful blocks and I'm puffing that loud from the night to the morning. If you see me summertime strolling, just holler at me, homie. You know that we rolling. I'm strolling through my beautiful blocks and we puffing that loud from the night to the morning.
With Caleb and Steve of Psy-Key Media. So we were just, hashing it out actually during the break about, Trayvon Martin, the whole case, the whole issues. It's been back and forth for the past year since it's happened. But I just want to get an official Psy-Key Media perspective on the case, outside of Mr. Caleb and Mr. Steve's personal opinion for the people as a socially conscious organization. Go.
Kayla, would you like to?
Yeah. So our stance with Psy-Key, we typically stick to general overarching themes, and we are very against we are very much so against violence, and we are also against racism, and we do believe that the justice needs to be repaired, but we personally as Psy-Key stick to the anti-violence mantra. Gotcha. Because without that, Trayvon Martin wouldn't have died.
This is true.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
This is very true. That the whole situation is heartbreaking, apparently, for the entire nation. And so, I'm hoping that through these conversations, not just here but everywhere, that this country will be able to come to, a better place in terms of judgment of situations like this, because they're really serious. Yeah. So moving on to something light and fluffy, just some couples news. So Pusha T, Kelly Rowland, suspected to be the new little couple on the scene. Apparently, she wrote some love captions of them together on her Instagram saying, "I love you, baby." That sounds pretty damn serious to me. So, well, my opinion is, Kelly, girl, you could do better to me. Not saying that Pusha T isn't great. There's celebrities everywhere, but just like, I hope you're happy. Let's say that. So shout out to you, Kayla Monae here. I hope you're happy, Miss Kelly. So also the Nicki Minaj proposal. What's up with that? Apparently,
Say what now?
right? See, some people, you guys, listeners, the faces that they're making right now.
Which one are they marrying?
They're not married. Like, she's not marrying anyone, you know. But DJ, who is this DJ? Khaled. You know, he's very familiar. His face. His DJ skills, I don't know about.
But he makes a lot of money. DJ Khaled, one of the biggest DJs like on earth.
Well, apparently he made a video with this huge diamond rock and was like, Nicki, I love you, I like you, I really want you to be mine, and I'm super serious, and you know, this takes a lot of courage, and whatever the case may be, will you marry me? Will you be my wife?
He said?
Yes, and she made a replying video that was, let's just say, very sad to say. So she basically said, you know, I don't respond to you know, stupid things because people need publicity, you know, and so I guess that's why they do it. But basically that's how it went.
Yeah, because if he was really serious, he would have went up in person. Right.
Who proposes through a video? You know what I'm saying? That's clearly for publicity. You know, well, I'm glad you got it, DJ Khaled, because there you go. You definitely got it right there. So that's pretty crazy.
She responded, you know?
Right.
she couldn't have said nothing at all, and that would have been hurtful.
I mean, she would have had to respond because paparazzi people everywhere would have just been like, Nikki, are you married? Are you getting married? Nikki, did you say yes? Like, she would have had to comment on it because she's very vocal with her fans, as you guys probably know. Mm-hmm. So some last entertainment news before we get into our DC event news. So new news as of this morning is that she's facing a lawsuit from her wedding planner for like $1 million. So I'm thinking in my head, your wedding costs $1 million. How does a wedding planner think that she's about to sue you for $1 million? That doesn't really make any sense to me. But apparently Tiffany Cook, she was her wedding planner, feels that NeNe owes her 15% of the entire wedding budget. That's what she was promised, as well as the execution of the event fees. She said she was due $270,000 for something, in addition to like $800,000 for design fees. Okay, $800,000. Okay, if your wedding is $1 million, okay, I seriously doubt that $800,000 of that $1 million wedding went to design. Yeah, I mean, it probably did, but it more than likely went to stuff, flowers, chairs, the venue, stuff. You know what I'm saying? No one's going to pay $800,000 for no one to come in and design their wedding.
But it's not like the wedding planner came out of her pocket with it.
Exactly.
She's supposed to be getting the money back or something. She's
right.
using NeNe's money.
Well, some companies
this, right?
some companies, like big companies, do front whatever it is that they're doing, and then you pay them a lump sum, like they say, this is what everything costs, and then you pay them whatever that fee is.
Okay.
So that may have been the case.
If that was the case, then yeah, she deserves every bit. But
well, Miss Tiffany Cook, I hope that you come to some conclusions on that, because I seriously doubt that you're getting $1 million out of NeNe Leakes. But hey, she's very rich. She could do whatever she wants to do. But moving on to some DC events. Screen on the Green. Have either one of you guys been? No. Screen on the Green is an event here in DC. They actually do it. Why?
Because I want to go.
Yeah, they have many different locations. I've wanted to go to the one that was showing all the superhero movies. They were showing Iron Man, all the Batman series. Yeah.
But I think they're playing E.T. there too, right?
Oh,
that's a different one. That's a different one. Yeah,
I wanted to see that.
There's about 3 different ones here in DC, and that was the Universal and NBC one.
That's interesting, because when I was in high school, actually, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, as you all know. I went to Screen on the Green during the summer all the time at Piedmont Park, and they played movies like E.T. Like, exactly. They used to play that every single year. So that's crazy. But, you know, if you're in the DC DMV area, check out Screen on the Green at the National Mall.
Also, while you're over there, they have an exhibit on Nelson Mandela. I'm not sure if anybody's been following the news, but he's been very ill lately.
Yes.
And they have a nice exhibit there, so definitely go check that out. It's right by the National Mall, probably at the Smithsonian, I believe.
He is. Well, definitely shout out to Nelson Mandela. Hopefully his health is coming through, and shout out to his family. Hopefully they're being strong through that whole process. Did you guys know that they had a reality show?
No.
It was called The Mandelas. One of my other producers actually told me about it maybe like 2 or 3 months ago. But apparently they had a show called The Mandelas, and it was like the daughters and the nieces, and they were like in the States, like shopping and doing luxury stuff, and like they had their budget or financial advisor with them, like, you're spending too much money, and like apparently it only had one season, so I guess it wasn't that great. But, I would have loved them to still have it right now so I could know, like, all the stuff that's going on, with his health and everything like that. I would really want to know the logistics. But, let's just send our blessings your way, Mandela. You've done a lot for, us in this community. So I'm hoping that you come out strong. But there is a lot going on in D.C. Last week on D.C. Speakers, I did tell you all about the D.C. Fringe Festival, and Steve here actually attended one of the events. What did you go to?
Yes, I did. I went to this event. It was called Psy-Key, Your Dead Man.
Oh,
and
my
godfather, Chris Haley, he actually had a friend who did that show. It was a one-act show. No, it was a two-act show, but it was one performer. And, it lasted maybe about an hour and a half. And it was pretty much just like a rundown of his life. It was a comedy. And just talking about the current life that he's just living right now, and all the bills that he's just trying to pay and stuff. And talking about a little romance and him trying to get this girl again. It was a pretty decent show for it being a one-person show. I liked it.
Oh, one-person show. That reminds me of high school when we had like fall drama, and and they used to have like little skits and things like that where they would have like one-person shows. It was basically like a show that had a bunch of different shows in it. It was a fringe festival at my school. Shout out to the Cab School of the Arts, although they're on the down slope apparently. Shout out to them though. They really built and bred. Miss Kayla Monae speaking on your line today. But I think a Fringe Festival is really important because it keeps people excited about the arts. And that's one thing, like, arts funding, at least I know in the state of Georgia, has significantly decreased, like the amount of money they provide. Well, everywhere. Yeah, the amount of money that they spend in schools on art education. And I think that's really an issue because that's a place that a lot of students, especially students who are like me, find outlets outside of sports, which could also be like a social issue, with bullying or not being enough, making the team, all of that, where arts is usually not as competitive and it's for show. So it's a time where people can express themselves. So I hope that, we really can do something about that. I don't know what can be done or why the arts funding is getting
that's
cut.
Definitely, I feel like with Psy-Key and part of our perspective is just like promoting artists, whether you're a model, an actress, actor, or a hip-hop artist,
Okay.
creativity that we possess, it doesn't need to be paid for.
Right.
We can do that anyway and regardless, and just with online media and just like the new outlets that we have in showing our own talents and the talents of our community, we could just really utilize that. So, and I think that could also help put a new light on the arts and entertainment, and also help build funds for that.
Yeah, and I think actually since we've been talking about it, I think we might start looking into possibly fundraising for a couple different organizations to support the arts. I think that would be a really good project to work on.
Oh, that sounds great.
Definitely.
Ooh, little production meeting after this, because that sounds really, really good.
Of course.
But speaking of artists, so do you guys work with any upcoming artists? I know that was a part of your platform or your mission statement.
Yes, our vice president, Mark Cisse, he's a talent manager for JIDK. It stands for Ignorantly Disseminating Knowledge.
Ooh, super fancy.
Yes, he's very good. And we also have another one of our associates, Mikkel Konahia, manages Pharma Wesley as well.
Oh,
yeah, so
and
check
who's
them
that?
out. They're both from the Maryland area up at Bowie. So yeah, definitely check them out. Jay, he has a Vivo page on YouTube, JIDK, and if you look up Pharma Wesley, you might have a little hard time finding them, but we're developing them, and we're gonna have them right. So.
Yeah.
Well, we will definitely look out for that here at DC Speakers, and we definitely want to get as much information about Psy-Key as we can, because it seems like a really, really great thing you guys are doing. So I shout out to you guys just for building that, having the courage to step out as entrepreneurs, as really young men. How old are you, Caleb?
23.
And you, Steve?
24.
Oh, so very young men here, really trying to do something great, in the community, for the people, for the media, which is the people, and, really doing a lot. So just to give us some final DC news for people, Salt and Pepper will be at the Howard Theater on the 31st for us music people. We were just talking about music, so definitely check them out. And the Nationals have been doing really great this year. If any of you guys in the DC area have been to their phenomenal new stadium, I have. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. So definitely check out the Nationals. Their games their tickets are they're really inexpensive. Literally, I got great seats, and my tickets was $10. No lie. So definitely support the Nationals and their new stadium. They're playing the Brews mostly next week, and the week after that, the Phillies. So that's it for our DC event news. So just to come back to Psy-Key, can you please tell us and our listeners where they can find Psy-Key, where they can get more information about Psy-Key, Twitter, Facebook, web, phone, and also where they could get information about you all, Mr. Caleb and Steve?
Certainly. So right now we have a Facebook page operating, and we also have a blog. The blog is going to be www.psychemedia.blogspot.com. So again, that's www.psychemedia.blogspot.com. And our Facebook page, you'll find us at https://www.facebook.com/psychemedia.
Nice. Psy-Key Media. And where can we find you all? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram?
Oh, yeah. So I also have a page. You'll find all of my acting resume and model stuff on there.
Yes, you are an actor and model. Mr. Steve, actor, model.
Yeah, entrepreneur. So basically, it's Steve Garrett 13.wix.com/unlock. And my IG page, Instagram, is at Golden Globe, and the L's are spelled with the number 1. So it's going to look like an 11 in it.
At Golden Globe. Cool. And you, Mr. Caleb Williams?
You can find me on Instagram at CWilliamsPYO, and also on Twitter as The Howard Dad.
The Howard
Underscores
Dad.
and spaces.
Underscores and spaces.
No kids, though. No kids.
No kids. He said, oh, hell no. We don't do kids. And, of course, you can find me, your host, Kayla Monae, on Twitter, Facebook, everything, at Kayla.com. That's dot with 2 T's, DOTTCOM at Kayla.com. So definitely follow me to keep it updated about what DC Speakers is doing and what my show, the DMV Experience, as well. So coming up, we have Know You Want It by artist Precise, who will actually be on the show next week. He is a Chicago native who has moved to the DC area trying to take it by storm. So here is Know You Want It. Thanks for listening to DC Speakers, and we'll see you next time.
It's all said and done. Usually I wouldn't do this, but I think you'll still love it. Cause if you know my music, my songs are filled with substance. But this, that girl is sexy. Yeah, it's for more than fucking. It's that late night candles, ice cold wine and making love. And so now, I want you, baby. I see you, girl. You drive me crazy. I see your world. And let me in it. Yeah, let me get it. With me, you get yours up first, but